have changed like a lot. There have been new discoveries, and maybe the stuff in the school that you have in the school, it's limited.
Maybe once a week we have the computers. It's a great opportunity because I'm a visual learner and it's easier to interact and see the screen on the smart boards and computers.
And when you can get on the internet, you have access to a lot more stuff and your knowledge increases.
I think there's a real disconnect between the ways that kids use technology outside of schools and the way that kids use technology inside of schools. And that disconnect kind of like sends a negative message to our students. It basically makes our schools irrelevant in their eyes.
We hope that what we can do is create a sense of urgency around the notion that if we're going to engage this generation of learners, that we really have to think differently about the way they learn.
They're not satisfied with looking at a book and consuming information. They want to interact with the content that's around the book. So to me, that's the key shift, is that our kids want to participate, and yet our schools are still set up for presentations. What I hope to get done during the course of our workshop is I want to be able to present to you a bunch of strategies that you can take back and use in your classroom almost immediately. Like when you Google something, how often do you really look at it and make judgments where you decide just how reliable a website is? Okay? Remember to answer the survey. There's a link right here in the middle. It says you can respond by visiting this link. So in the information management portion of this course, what I hope you'll learn is how to teach your students to sort information and how to curate collections, how to identify reliable websites, how to narrow searches down. Until we get to the point where we can manage the amount of information that surrounds us, we can never be efficient learners. One of my favorite lessons to teach kids is about the differences between collaborative and competitive dialogue. In this particular lesson, what you'll see is students studying an interaction between two presidential candidates. Did it look like they wanted to learn from each other at all? No, not at all. There's another conversation here. And this conversation actually happened between a group of my 6th graders and a group of 8th graders in our building. Like, did my kids do better than the presidential candidates is basically what I'm asking you to look for. You guys have to get really good at creating visuals because that's how people are engaged nowadays. Don't get me wrong, I want you to be writers too, but influencing people with video and with visuals matters, and that's what today's lesson is all about. By the end of today, I'm really hoping that you guys will create a visual that will change people's minds. So if I create a digital kit for them, now the technical steps are easy. I've done the technical work for them, and they can think about the content. What message do you really want to share?
When you start using technology in the classroom, you can just sense a change in attitude and a change in the atmosphere because the kids are really excited. They don't, say, oh, another worksheet, or, oh. Usually it's all right, and they're ready to get started and they're excited about it.
And it's not about what I can teach you today because that tool may be gone tomorrow, but it is how I strategically plan and implement that technology into my classroom.
My goal is to show you how you can take the practices that you're already comfortable with and kind of integrate technology into those practices.
As you think about the way you're going to interact with information and resources as you move forward, I really want you to put the student in the middle of all that and really think through, how do I maximize their learning by getting them involved in this learning process?
I think that teachers may be nervous to bring in technology. Maybe it's because they're worried students wouldn't do what they're assigned to do. But what I would say to them is that really, if we're having fun, we'll do what we're supposed to do. And it's a great way to learn.
Well, what I hope this course will do for you is give you real practical strategies that you can implement in your classroom tomorrow. I think that's the credibility that I bring to this conversation, is that everything that I present to you are strategies and tools that I'm actually using in my own classroom. And so if you can walk away from my course with a better understanding of how to use digital tools to make problem solving and collaborative dialogue and information management more effective and easier to implement in your room, then I think I've done my job.